Know what you need. Because you gotta somehow make that paper, right?
Right.
Show me the money!
You come to the right place for that. Because it's time for Bo Bounds to
Show me the money!
show you the...
All right, if Bartoo's up, we'll have him on here in a minute. If not, we'll talk about some other nonsense. Out of bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Good morning, welcome in. Super excited about this weekend. You know, the lineup of SEC games and what could happen around the league. I still think we're sleeping on Florida at LSU. That could be a game that's like sneaky good. Problem is the two teams have lost some games, so there's not like SEC East, SEC West ramifications in the deal. But you don't ever know. That could be a wild, wild game in Baton Rouge. And it's an 11 a.m. game. You know, the LSU faithful, after, sipping on some beverages on Friday night, they're going to have to jump out of bed and get to the stadium. I mean, we did an 11 a.m. game a couple weeks ago in Starkville, and you got to have your mind right. We got 3 11 a.m. games in the SEC, which tells you that is drawing eyeballs, that time slot. I know it's not what you want when you're going to a game, but when you're at home, you love it because game day takes you right to, 3 11 a.m. games. Doubleheader on CBS, too, by the way. Auburn at Arkansas, and then, of course, Kentucky at Georgia. We welcome in our friend Dave Bartoo, College Football Matrix. He joins us on the Sam Adams Oktoberfest guest line. We'll do a little Show Me the Money, powered by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook, too. Bartoo, good morning.
Dude, good morning. And it's a beautiful morning. What are we now? Week 7 in college football?
Yes.
Halfway through it. Halfway home, baby. No, I am stoked for this weekend and everything that's going to come out of it because it's been a wacky college football season so far.
Yes, it has. Let's start with Ole Miss traveling to Tennessee. Pretty tight line, 3 points. Over-under is 82.5 on Caesars, but depends on where you're going.
But it started at 85.5. Okay, it started at 85.5. So when we're looking at the numbers, we got to see where it's coming and where it's going, because that'll kind of tell you what not only what people are thinking. Now, starting at 85.5, that opening line's happened 5 times in the last 12 years. So God knows what to me there's nowhere to bet on something like this. When you start getting numbers in the 80s, the natural gravitation is just going to be going to the under on that because it's so many points. In Tennessee, I mean, look, you're talking both of these top 20 scoring efficiencies in college football year to date. And the defenses are certainly the weak link. Actually, the weak link is the Mississippi defense. DJ Durkin cannot keep up with this. This is a second straight year. They're probably going to finish with a bottom 30 defensive scoring efficiency. I think really what is interesting here is this is an opportunity for Tennessee to win the football game. I know that sounds crazy as hell, okay? But, look, Tennessee has played better football so far this year. Their offense scoring efficiency is pretty even to Ole Miss. Defensively, their defense is a lot better. Defense is in the top 40. Right now, Durkin's number 92. But when you look at where that, so you focus on, to me, the focus is on the spread. It opened at -4. It's moved down. What are you guys sitting out there? I got -3 right now.
That's what we have, bud. Yeah.
Okay. So it moved down to -3. Now that move historically in October, the road team covers that about 64% of the time. So the bet I like here, by the numbers, the bet is Ole Miss -3 on that. Let me see if there's Ole Miss -3 down to about -2. I think your sweet spot closing I'd look for that close at -3, -2.5, -2. Those are the numbers I would recommend anybody betting the football game. Ole Miss covering the points in that range.
Okay, so you wouldn't touch the over/under, is what you're telling the listeners.
No, there's
Okay.
there's nothing there. With that high of a number, there's no precedent to we're not chasing a number because the number doesn't exist.
Okay. All right. So, and from what I gather here, you are expecting a close game with the way the two teams match up.
Absolutely, I'm expecting a close game. I could probably break down where it's going to be close. It's like Alabama, Mississippi State getting ahead of ourselves. Second quarter is the most important one. But you look at this football game. I think Ole Miss has got to get out and get a lead because I think Durkin's going to give it back. I probably wouldn't even bet this game at all because I'm just so uncertain about that Ole Miss defense. It's bad. It's really bad. Tennessee is the more balanced team here. I know the numbers say bet Ole Miss because of the opening line and the movement, but Tennessee's played better football combined than Ole Miss this year. So it's not even shocking to me if Tennessee wins this. Hell, it's not even shocking to me if Tennessee blows them out because that's how much better the football Tennessee has played so far than Ole Miss. It's that Ole Miss defense that is just so suspect.
All right, Dave Bartoo, he's got the Patreon account at CFB Matrix on Twitter, and he joins us on the Sam Adams Oktoberfest guest line. Let's go to Bama at Mississippi State. Should the line be closer to like 23, 24 points, and it's not because Bama's coming off a loss? Right now it's at around 17.5. How do you see it, Bartoo?
Well, it opened at -21. And it's moved down quickly, so the line makers put it at 21. Line breakers have moved it down to 17.5. That is a huge move. You look in the last 10 years in college football, the road team opening as a 21-point favorite. It's not that frequent. It's only happened 18 times. And when the line moves down, it actually pushes it more to a 50-50. That the road team is going to cover this, or the home, who's going to cover this football game. So, from a line standpoint, I don't have a recommendation on who to bet on there. The numbers don't show it. If the line had moved up, it opened at 21. If it moved up to 22, 22.5, 23, any movement up, the road team covers 67% of the time. That would have been the bet.
Interesting.
But the line moved against the road team, which is really more of a 50-50 proposition. So the line breakers are saying, hey, this line, people out there trying to break the line initially are saying that they're going against what you're saying. No, the line should be lower in this case. And I think it's because of that Alabama defense. It's 48th in the country right now in scoring efficiency. They're not winning a national title. They're not very good on defense. They're just a run-oriented offense. You stop the run, and Alabama's vulnerable because the defense isn't there. And so
what about over/under, Bartoo? 57.5, you pass.
Right, but it opened at 59.
Okay, so what does that tell you?
Move down. So what that tells me is it doesn't tell me anything. No, actually, in all seriousness, it doesn't. So in the 5-week window in the last 10 years, so this is week 7. So in week 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in college football, I never look at a whole season. I look at windows. In the 5-week window, this line has opened at 59 60 times. The over is hit 29. So that the movement's going, again, this is one of those things. The movement is going the wrong way to make a bet. I would not bet on this football game because the numbers are, it's just this, who's going to cover this, and the over-under is an absolute coin toss. But because I know the game's so important to everybody that's listening, state fans, to me, the critical quarter is going to be the second quarter. that is when State's offense has been the weakest. That is when Alabama's offense has been the strongest. That's when their defense has been the strongest, but it's also when State's defense has been the strongest. If you can keep this close going into the fourth quarter, Alabama is bottom 40 in offense and defense in the fourth quarter year to date. Their defense fades huge in the second half. To me, you're just trying to hang on for halftime. And if you can get this thing into one score into the fourth quarter, damn, you've got a shot, because Alabama has just absolutely folded in the fourth quarter this year.
Bartoo, Show Me the Money, powered by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook. We'll broadcast live from there tomorrow morning. Do you want to go Auburn at Arkansas or Florida at LSU next?
Well, we can hit either one. We can go Auburn, Arkansas. This one's opened. This one opened in favor of Arkansas, -3. All right, and I have it moving from -3 down to -3.5. So we're having a move in favor of the home team. That move typically it favors the road slightly. 55% of the time, 56% of the time, the road covers this move. So there's not a recommendation there. If anybody's betting it, I would be leaning towards Auburn covering that. Now on the total, we have it opened at 50.5, and it's moved up from 50.5 to 53. That favors the over. This is actually a really good bet. In weeks 6, 7, and 8 of the last 10 years, the over on this move from 50.5 up, the over has hit 81%.
Damn, Bartoo. So it's a big number.
Right. The number I like here, because where are we at? We near, what did I say the number was? 52.5?
Well,
53 to 54.
Right.
Okay. So my recommendation right now for anybody considering betting this one is wait until the close. Watch the close. The line in the sand is 52.5. If it closes at 52.5, 53, 53.5, those three numbers right there, that's your sweet spot. Okay. Right now, the number's really high. It's moved a lot. So if I'm in the timeout lounge at the Golden Moon Casino on Saturday morning, and I see that line holding steady at, let's say, ideally 52.5, I'm hitting the over on that one. That is a good bet right there on that number.
Okay, cool. Bartoo on the Out of Bounds show and the Sam Adams Oktoberfest guest line. We're talking Show Me the Money, powered by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook. Unbelievable slate of games this weekend. Let's move to let's do Florida at LSU. All right. Okay. Because I actually think this could be a wild game. But is Florida minus – I've got it minus 11.5 on Caesars. I don't know what you have. But Florida at LSU, Bartoo.
I don't know where it opened on this. It's not giving me a number of where it opened. So
we'll find it.
It's my chart says minus 6.5, but going from minus 6.5 to
it opened up at 3.5, I think, and flew to 10. Right?
Blake, so what happened is they opened the line prior to LSU's loss to Kentucky at 3.5, and as soon as they lost to Kentucky, every book jumped it to like 10.5 immediately.
Right. See, so we don't have a really good starting spot there. That's kind of a stinker in that one because that's never happened. I mean, you have I have 144 line openings at plus 3.5 for the road team, and or minus 3.5 for the road team, and it has never moved past minus 8.5 to a close.
Wow.
You know, so I mean,
wow.
I think let's just, for argument's sake, let's go minus 10.5, and see what we got there. Usually with these big numbers, it really favors the favored team. Okay, when you got big numbers like that. Now in this case, we have a minus 10.5. Where do we want to be with this? It's really not very conclusive. It's really not very conclusive. If it had opened at -10.5 and moved towards LSU, then the 80% of the time the road team covers that. It would favor Florida quickly. But if it opened at 10.5, moved up to 11, 11.5, 12, that starts favoring the home team to cover. I don't think we can bet anything here with the line volatility. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't have anything there. It wouldn't be fair to recommend
over under 59.5
on that. So we opened at 59.5, and that one, where is it at right now on your book?
I've still got it at
kind of sitting right there at 59.5.
Yeah,
I have it open at 59.5. Yeah, but I'm seeing 59s. I'm seeing 58.5. So the line has moved down slightly, which is a lean 64% of the time on the move down off of 59. The over is hit. So this is a solid. I would say your winning expectation between, let's see here, 61% on one move, 64% on the other. So with the move down, if it closes, it opened at 59.5. If it closes at 58 or 58.5 or below, you want to be on the over on that one.
Okay.
You absolutely want to be on the over. In fact, any close under 60, you want to be on the over. So the number we're hunting for in this, if you're sitting at your sports book or you're sitting at your app, you are looking for the lowest possible number to bet over. I don't care what it is. You just want to bet the over. Ideally, you are in, oh boy, if you could get it down, it's not going to get into the 56s, 55s.
No.
58, 57.5. I think that's where you're going to expect to be. But the trends point to a better than 60% odds that this game is going to end in over wherever it closes.
All right. Dave Bartoo on the Out of Bounds show. All right, Bartoo, Kentucky at Georgia. Does Georgia blow them out? What do you see here? We're looking at a line of around 22.5.
They should blow them out. I mean, Georgia's going to be the only playoff team out of the SEC. So
shots fired.
Let's see here. So it opened at 43.5, which is awesome, right? So I love seeing openings like that because and it should be a defensive game. I mean, you got two top 15 defenses in college football, but it moved up. It opened at 43.5 and it moved up to 45. So the number you're trying to get, if you're betting this, is the highest number possible. I see 44.5. It's kind of 44.5 across the board right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't think you're going to see 45 at the end of this. But the bet on this move, when it opens at 43.5, the under, when the open at 43.5 moves up, which it has here, the under has hit 83% of the time in October. In the 3-week window, week 6, 7, and 8, the under is undefeated on the move up. So if I'm betting this game, I am absolutely, if I'm taking 44.5, maybe it moves to 45, I am taking the under on this football game. I think that's where the value is in that.
No value in the point spread.
Well, where are we at? We opened at I got it at open at -24.5.
I'm looking at 22.5.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking at 22.5 and 21.5 across the board.
Just the lean. Now, look, opening at -24.5 in October, that's not very common. Okay, that's a huge number. It's not very common. It's happened 5 times in October in the last 12 years. The road team has covered 4 out of 5. Okay.
Wow.
So my lean on this, the sample size is too small to say, yeah, I would bet that on a sample size of 5 games in 10 years. No, but if I'm leaning towards something, I am absolutely leaning towards Georgia covering whatever the hell it closes at. I'll just eat the points and take Georgia as the road team on this one to cover.
All right, we got about 3 or 4 minutes. Dave Bartoo at CFB Matrix on Twitter. His Patreon account is on fire. This is Show Me the Money, brought to you by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook. Let's go to the college football playoff. You just dropped some, Georgia's going to be the only. Walk me through why this is what you're thinking as far as the SEC getting only one team in, and that being Georgia.
Part of it's just to be a smart ass and rile everybody up. But
you're good at that.
But realistically, look, you don't have your last 21. So everybody's won a national title this century. Okay, they have finished the season top 3 in offensive or defensive scoring efficiency in my numbers. Okay, right now the second best team is Alabama. Their offense nationally is 13th. Their defense is 48th. That's your second best team. A&M's kind of mixed in there from a defensive standpoint, but there's nobody that really stands out right now, and maybe you end up with 2 in the playoffs. That's a possibility. I just don't think anybody is a national title contender outside of Georgia at all. The numbers just aren't there supporting that. The SEC still has the numbers in their advantage in terms of how many top 25 teams they have on the board. But I'm just looking at it going forward. And to me, if I had $100 and I had to bet $25 on each team to make the playoff, right now I'd go Georgia, I'd go Oklahoma, I'd go Ohio State and Michigan. I just think the SEC there's nobody elite outside of Georgia, and it's so balanced. I think you're all just going to beat the crap out of each other the last 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
They're still in the running, obviously. I mean, the Big Ten and the SEC are in the running for 2 teams each, clearly. Right. And that's almost the way it is every year. But especially this year, because the ACC is horrible, just horrible. You have Clemson's defense and nothing else to hang your hat on. I mean, Miami, their number 2 recruiter, is the worst team in the conference. So there's nothing there. There's not enough top 25 teams to get top 25 wins. Same thing in the Pac-12. Not enough top 25 teams. It's just, it's not that good.
So what you're telling me, Bartoo, is the 2 of us could go down to Miami and Coral Gables and do a better job than what that staff is doing right now.
I don't know about that. It's a really tough job, dude. But could you and I use the numbers and assemble a coaching staff that would be better than the 108th scoring efficiency team in college football? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I think we can come up with a staff to do that. Yeah, Miami is unbelievably bad. Right there with Vanderbilt and Missouri.
God, that's incredible. That's hard to do with the talent they have. So Bartoo's going to have a little feast.
They've done it.
Miami's going to be open, LSU's open, and Southern Cal's already open. Those are 3 really good places to coach if you know what you're doing. And
there's going to be a lot of turnover because remember, when a big job comes open, it trickles down.
Yes,
it trickles down.
Yeah.
So it is going to be. I got a huge meeting tomorrow, dude. Stay tuned. I'm on the verge of helping change college football this year. I am stoked out of my mind.
See you, buddy. Be good.
Later.
We'll be live from the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook tomorrow. Thanks for listening to the Out of Bounds Show on 105.9 The Zone. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Live from the Golden Moon.